The apparent meaning of Mahabharata is as follows. Dhritarashtra and King Pandu are brothers. Dhritarashtra and King Pandu are brothers. Dhritarashtra is elder one and Pandu is younger one. Dhritarashtra is blind by birth. A blind man is not entitled to rule. So Pandu got the kingdom to rule. Pandu had two wives, Kunti and Matri. Their offsprings are called Pandavas. The offsprings of Dhritarashtra are called Kauravas. The worm jealousy entered the mind of Duryodhana. Duryodhana is the eldest son of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is having 100 sons, out of which Duryodhana is the eldest one. So the worm jealousy entered the mind of Duryodhana. He defeated the Pandavas deceitfully with the help of cunning Shakuni in the game of dice, that is gambling. As per the conditions of this game of dice, that is gambling, the Pandavas has to give kingdom to Duryodhana and they were to spend their life in forest for 12 years and 1 year in disguise. In Sanskrit it is called 12 years Aranyavas and 1 year Ajnatavas. 12 years they should spend their life in forest openly and 1 year under the disguise they should spend their life in forest or anywhere. When they are in disguise, if somebody recognizes them, if somebody recognizes the Pandavas, then again they have to do 12 years in forest and again 1 year in disguise. Pandavas will fulfill the two conditions. The Pandavas will fulfill both the conditions and return to ask Duryodhana to give back their kingdom. They will send Sri Krishna as an ambassador to Kauravas for negotiations, but of no use. Duryodhana will not agree to give even a space of needle. Duryodhana will not agree to give even a space of needle in spite of fulfilling the conditions of 12 years in forest and 1 year in disguise by the Pandavas. Kurukshetra war became inevitable. Kurukshetra war became inevitable. Kurukshetra is Dharmakshetra, place of virtue. Kurukshetra is Dharmakshetra, place of virtue. The armies of both sides, Pandavas and Kauravas, were lined up on either side face to face. The armies of both sides, Pandavas and Kauravas, were lined up on either side face to face. Sri Krishna will install the chariot in between the armies of Pandavas and Kauravas at a vantage point as per the desire of Arjuna, who wanted to see the warriors of both sides. Seeing the close relatives like fathers-in-law, maternal and paternal grandfathers, uncles, teachers, brothers, etc., Arjuna started crying. Arjuna started wailing and asks Sri Krishna as to how can he kill these close relations for the sake of material kingdom. How he can kill these close relatives and kith and kins for the sake of material kingdom. He feels that it is a great sin, so he asked Krishna, Sri Krishna, to preach him the kartavyam, that is the duty. So then the result is Gita. The result is Gita. Arjuna feels that it is a great sin to fight with close relations and kith and kins and kill them in the war for the sake of material kingdom. So he asked Sri Krishna to preach him the kartavyam, that is the duty. So that results in Gita, the eternal song. The Gita should not be preached to those people who are not interested to come out of this material births and rebirths cycle, not having respect to elders and teachers, not having devotion towards God, who condemn God. The Gita should not be preached to those people who are not interested to come out of this cycle of material births and rebirths, who are not having respect to elders, who are not having respect to elders, who are not respecting their teachers, who do not have any devotion towards God, and those people who condemn God should not be taught this Gita. There are so many yogas taught in this yoga. There are so many yogas taught in this Gita. They are karma yoga, that is execute your body, execute your duty without aspiring for any benefit. Execute your duty without aspiring for any benefit, that is called karma yoga. Bhakti yoga, having complete dedication and trust on God. These are like this, several yogas are there in this Srimad Bhagavatgita. Bhakti is of 9 ways. Bhakti, that is dedication, is of 9 ways. So there is a saying in Sanskrit, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam and Atmarpanam. These are the 9 ways of dedication. Shravanam, that is to hear the auspicious names of God, to hear the auspicious Om sound. Kirtanam, to sing Om sound. Smaranam, to remember this Om sound, or to go on memorizing this Om sound. Pada Sevana, to respect the elders. Archana, to worship God. Pada Sevana means to respect elders, means not only to respect elders, it is their duty to respect God and Sadgurus, that means the masters. Archanam, then Vandanam, that means you are humble, putting humble namaskar to God and the masters. Dasyam, that is mean to do service to the elders and God for the sake of for God, to God. That means God's works. Sakhyam and Atmarpana, to consider God just like his friend. Sakyam means to consider God just like his friend, beloved friend. And Atmarpana means to completely dedicate oneself to at the lotus feet of God. There are 8 types of flowers are there that are to be put before God. There are 8 types of flowers. What are they? Ahimsa pradhamo pushpaha, pushpam indriya nigraha, sarvabhuta daya pushpam, kshamah pushpam visheshatah, शांति पुष्पम तपः पुष्पम ध्यान पुष्पम तथैव च सत्यमष्ट विधम पुष्पम विष्णोः प्रीतिकरं भवेत्। अहिंसा प्रथमो पुष्पः पुष्पमिन्द्रिय निग्रहः सर्वभूत दया पुष्पम क्षमा पुष्पम विशेषतः शांति पुष्पम तपः पुष्पम ध्यान पुष्पम तथैव च सत्यमष्ट विधम पुष्पम विष्णोः प्रीतिकरं भवेत्। What are those flowers that are to be put before God at the lotus feet of God are the flowers that are liked by God are non-violence, control of senses, kindness to all living beings, patience, peace, penance, meditation and truthfulness are liked by God. One should know before going further what is Antahkarana. Of course, about this one we will discuss more in future pages. Man means mind, buddhi means intellect, chitta means sphere of thinking, and ahankara, that is ego or I-ness. These 4 together constitute Antahkarana. There are 3 gunas. In Sanskrit they call it as gunas, in English they are called as qualities. What are those qualities? 3 gunas, main qualities. Sattva, positive; Rajo, that is neutral; and Tamas, negative. If the Antahkarana is filled with the mixture of Rajo and Tamo guna, then it is hardened. If the Antahkarana is filled with the mixture of Rajo and Tamo guna, then it is hardened. With this quality, that means with this hardened quality, any amount of so-called worship, that is puja, eulogizing, that is stotras, religious vows, that means vratams, meditation, are done just for the sake of them without complete dedication and surrendering, then that will not lead to liberty. If the Antahkarana is filled with the mixture of Rajo and Tamo guna, then it is hardened. With this hardened quality, any amount of so-called worship, puja, eulogizings, that is stotra, religious vows, that is vratam, meditation, that is dhyana, are done just for the sake of them without complete dedication, that is complete bhakti, and surrendering, then that will not lead to liberty. Sarvabhuta daya, that is kindness to all living beings, is quite essential. Sarvabhuta Daya means that is kindness to all living beings is quite essential. This is the practical Vedanta or Anusthana Vedanta. This is the practical Vedanta or Anusthana Vedanta. So, there are 4 important yogas in Bhagavatgita. They are Karma Yoga. There are 4 important yogas in in Bhagavad Gita. They are Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga and Gnana Yoga. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga and then Gnana Yoga. I already told you, Karma Yoga means execute your duty without aspiring for any benefit. Execute your duty without aspiring for any benefit. Bhakti Yoga means having complete dedication and trust on God. Having complete dedication and trust on God. Dhyana Yoga means to remain concentrate on God only, in spite of any amount of odds one may face. Dhyana Yoga means to remain concentrate on God only in spite of any amount of odds one may face. By doing Karma Yoga, one will get a dedication, that is Bhakti Yoga. By doing Bhakti Yoga, one will get Dhyana Yoga, get into Dhyana Yoga, that is one-pointedness. Then once the sadhaka, that is meditator, acquires the one-pointedness, that means when he is personified in Dhyana Yoga, the personification of Dhyana Yoga is called Gnana Yoga. That means then you will get pure knowledge. So all these yogas, these 4 yogas are not independent, they are interdependent. To maintain equanimity in misery and happiness, cold and heat, praise and abuse, profit and loss, honor and dishonor, victory and defeat is yoga. To maintain equanimity in misery and happiness, cold and heat, praise and abuse, profit and loss, honor and dishonor, victory and defeat is yoga. This is what is preached by Paramatma Sri Krishna. This is what is preached by Paramatma Sri Krishna. Now, as I told you, Gnana Yoga means firm conviction of Aham Brahmasmi, I am the God. Gnana Yoga means firm conviction of Aham Brahmasmi, I am the God. So, Karma, Bhakti, Dhyana and Gnana Yoga preached in Gita, Karma, Bhakti, Dhyana and Gnana preached in Gita are not independent, they are interdependent. Yajna. To do yajna, several things like helping people, good amount of money, performers like Hota, Udgata, Ritviks, learned Pandits, people having knowledge of Shastras are required. To do a sacrifice, that is yajna, several things like helping people, good amount of money, performers like Hota, Udgata, Ritvik, learned Pandits, people having knowledge of Shastras are required. The result of yajna, sacrifice, is trivial. Eternal liberty will not be the result of such yajnas. Eternal liberty will not be the result of such yajnas. Sri Krishna has given Nishkama karma yagna or yoga, you may call it Nishkama karma yoga or yagna to the mankind. Caste oblique class distinction, caste or class distinctions, strict ablutions, huge expenditures are not involved in this. I am doing everything for God. I am not the karta, the doer. God is the only karta. Eating, smelling, tasting, breathing, running, walking, etc. Everything is done by God and only God. He is active and I am passive. This firm conviction is required. What is required is to involve God in each and every bit of day-to-day affairs. What is required is to involve God in each and every bit of day-to-day affairs and dedicate everything to Him, that is God the Father. Disowning everything, making God as a karta for everything is real yajna. Disowning everything, making God as karta for everything, that means God, you must make God as karta for everything, is a real yajna. Even the ferocious Kurukshetra war is also yajna if Arjuna disowns it. Even the ferocious Kurukshetra war is also yajna if Arjuna disowns it. Even small things like swadhyaya, to read oneself, controlling food are also yajnas. Even small things like swadhyaya, that is to read oneself. You must read yourself. Or controlling food are also yajnas. The result is infinite good. It culminates into liberty. The result is infinite good. It culminates into liberty. What is tyagam and what is sannyasam? Let us discuss. To do karma and dedicate it to God is tyagam. To do karma and dedicate it to God is tyagam. To do fire sacrifice or not doing any work is not sannyas. Remember that sannyas is not that. That is to do fire sacrifice, to do fire sacrifice is not a sannyas. Or not doing any work is not sannyas. What is then sannyas? Sattu means truth. Nyasam means the quest. Sat means truth. Nyasam means the quest. So the quest for Sat, that is God, is sannyas. Without expecting, do karma. Without any expectations, do your karma. This will lead to attain the truth. What is tapas? What is tapas? That is penance. To worship devas, that is deities. Brahma nishtas, that is those who follow and step into the qualities of Brahma, the God. Masters, yoga masters, Mahatmas, that is great souls, and acquiring virtues like Saucham, that is purity. Acquiring virtues like purity, that is called in Sanskrit, it is called Saucham. Rujutva, in Sanskrit it is Rujutva, in English it is called honesty. Honesty is called Rujutva. Brahmacharyam, that is celibacy. And Ahimsa, that is non-violence. These are all Sharirika tapas, that is bodily penance. These are all Sharirika tapas. In fact, to roam in Brahma is Brahmacharya. In fact, to roam in Brahma is Brahmacharya. It's not that, not at all marrying is not Brahmacharya. But to roam in Brahma is Brahmacharya. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, priyam cha nanrutam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyam, etat dharma sanatanaha. Always speak truth, but speak sweetly. Sweetly speak, but do not speak untruth. You may speak sweetly. That does not mean that you should speak untruth. But truth should not be spoken harshly. You may be speaking truth, but you should not speak it harshly. This is our ancient dharma, that is Sanatana dharma. Purity of mind, silence, self-control, purity in thoughts are called manasika tapas, mental penance. What is mental penance? Purity of mind, silence, self-control, purity in thoughts are called manasika tapas or mental penance. Now, let us talk about the configuration of Gita. The configuration of Gita. Vedas are divided into samhitas, that is karma kanda or action chapters. Samhitas means karma kanda or action chapters. Brahmanas, that is upasana kanda or protocols. Upasana kanda or protocols are called brahmanas. And Upanishads, gnana kanda or wisdom or essence or moral chapters. Wisdom or essence or moral chapters is called gnana kanda, that is called Upanishads. So Vedas are divided into samhitas, brahmanas and Upanishads. As I told you, samhitas means karma kanda or action chapters, brahmanas means upasana kanda or protocols, and Upanishads means gnana kanda or wisdom or essence or moral chapters. Gita contains 18 chapters in total. Like Vedas, the first chapters of Gita are called karma shatkam, action chapters. Second 6 chapters are called bhakti shatkam, that is dedication chapters. And the last 6 chapters are called gnana shatkam, that is wisdom chapters. Karma shatkam is a mixture of bhakti and gnana. Karma shatkam is a mixture of bhakti, that is devotion or dedication, and gnanam, that is wisdom. So bhakti and gnana yogas, the mixture of bhakti and gnana yogas is karma shatkam. Bhakti shatkam is a mixture of karma and gnana yogams, and karma shatkam is a mixture of bhakti and gnana. Remember this. Karma shatkam is a mixture of bhakti and gnana. Bhakti means devotion and gnana is wisdom. Next, bhakti shatkam, that is next 6 chapters. Bhakti shatkam is a mixture of karma and gnana, that is wisdom yogas. Karma and gnana yogas. Gnana means wisdom. Karma means action. Gnana, that means the last and final 6 chapters, they are called gnana shatkam. That gnana shatkam is a mixture of karma and bhakti yogas. As I told you, karma means action and bhakti means devotion. So karma shatkam is a mixture of bhakti and gnana yogas. Bhakti shatkam is a mixture of karma and gnana yogas. Gnana is a mixture of karma and bhakti yogas. Gita consists of 18 chapters. These can be divided into 4 parts. Gita can be divided into 4 parts. All these 18 chapters can be divided into 4 parts. Karma, bhakti, dhyana and gnana yogas. These 4 yogas, that is karma, bhakti, dhyana and gnana yogas, are not dependent. They are interdependent. By doing karma, one will get dedication. The continuous dedication shall lead to dhyana, that is one pointedness. The intense dhyana shall give the sadhaka gnana, that is pure wisdom. That is pure wisdom. Now, let us discuss about objects of Gita. Every speaker should follow this procedure while giving speech. Normally, in our Puranas and Vedas, they followed a system while giving a speech. They follow a procedure. What are these procedures? They are: number one, upakrama; number two, abhyasa; number three, apurvata; number four, phalam; number five, ardhavada; number six, upapatti; number seven, upasamhara. So, these are the procedures one has to follow while giving a speech. So, let us discuss in detail about each and every one step. Now, first one is upakarma, to start a speech. How to start the speech is called upakarma. So, in this Krishna has told, Arjuna has told to Krishna, Krishna, I am your disciple. I sought your refuse. Utter me. That is the starting of the speech of Arjuna. So, that is second adhyaya, seventh stanza, seventh verse, or sloka, seventh sloka. Then number two is abhyasa, that is practice. Abhyasa means practice. Gita advises you to practice bhakti, that is dedication, and sharanagati, that is surrender to God. Gita advises you to practice bhakti, that is dedication, and sharanagati, that is surrender to God. This is called abhyasa, that is practice. Second step in a speech. Third step is apurvata, that is the importance of your message. While giving a speech, the importance of your message you must communicate, you must convey. So, in Gita highlights the importance of nishkama karma, okay, bhakti and dhyana, so as to get complete and pure wisdom, gnana. Gita highlights the importance of nishkama karma, bhakti and dhyana, so as to get complete and pure wisdom, gnana. Number four, phalam, the result. While giving a speech, one should remember what result your speech is going to produce. So, phalam means result. Gita counsels you to abide by the Paramatma, stock, barrel and gun. Gita counsels you, advises you to abide by the Paramatma, stock, barrel and gun. Manasa, vacha, karmana, in Sanskrit we call it. This results in merging with the Paramatma and not falling in the circle of births and deaths, that is janana marana. So that leads to janma rahityam. That means you will not fall in the circle of births and deaths. That is the result of Gita, that is phalam, the speech of Gita. Number 5, ardhavada, the purpose of the work. The purpose of the work in Gita is what? Do your work by dedicating it to God. Do your work by dedicating it to God. Even small amount of dedication or small amount of dedicated work shall remove gigantic worldly fear. Even small amount of dedicated work shall remove gigantic worldly fear. Api swalpasyatrayate mahato bhayat. Api swalpasyatrayate mahato bhayat. Then number 6 point, while giving a speech, this is the speech of Gita. Upapatti. What is upapatti? To ascertain the rendition of the speaker. To ascertain the rendition of the speaker is upapatti. So Gita says, Nishkama karma, that means doing one's duty without aspiring for result. Nishkama karma means doing one's duty without aspiring for result. Bhakti, that is dedication, and dhyana, that is one pointedness, shall definitely lead to pure wisdom and no rebirth. See, Nishkama karma, that is doing one's duty without aspiring for result. Bhakti, that is dedication, and dhyana, that is one pointedness, shall definitely lead to pure wisdom and no rebirth. This is the upapatti, that is the Gita ascertains the rendition of its speech. Now last but not the least, what is that? Upasamhara, conclusion. So while giving a speech, you have to conclude it. What is the conclusion? Give up everything and take shelter in me. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Give up everything and take shelter in me. Now, let us discuss about the description of 18 chapters in Gita. Each chapter has been described as a yoga. The first one is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the grief of Arjuna. The first chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, that is the grief of Arjuna. Bhagavan Sri Krishna has installed the chariot in between the two armies of Pandavas and Kauravas as desired by Arjuna. Seeing the brothers-in-law, fathers-in-law, paternal and maternal uncles, grandfathers and teachers, etc., started wailing. Arjuna started crying with bitter sorrow. He argues with Sri Krishna that what is the use of getting a kingdom after losing close kiths and kins? It is a great sin. Preach me the kartavyam, the duty. The divine conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjuna results in Gita. In Kriya Yoga Sadhana, sadhak shall face east or north, fixing the gaze in Kutastha. Spinal cord, that is Gandiva Dhanush, erect, the spinal cord should be erect and should sit in a fixed posture, that is called asana. Sadhak will utilize swasa, that is breathe, as astra, that is weapon. Sadhak means meditator. Meditator will utilize swasa as astra during pranayama, that is control of life force. In the initial stages of sadhana, every sadhak, meditator, shall get a doubt as to whether this yoga sadhana shall give him the benefit of uniting with God or not, or else he has to lose the benefits of material life as well. People shall ridicule him as a clown who lost both spiritual and material happiness. To assuage the feelings of sadhaka, that is the meditator, Bhagavan Sri Krishna takes the role of Sadguru. Here, Sadhaka, the meditator, is Arjuna, and the Sadguru, that is master, is Sri Krishna. He counsels his devotee, Arjuna, through intuition. That is what is called Sahaja Atmavabodha in Sanskrit. He expatiates, he explains the reality of soul, the Atma. The reality of soul, the Atma. This rendition is started with Arjuna Vishada Yoga, that is the grief of Arjuna. Krishna, Sri Krishna replies with Sankhya Yoga. So, number 2 yoga is Sankhya Yoga. What is Sankhya Yoga? Cosmic wisdom and how to attain it. In this chapter, Sri Krishna describes the configuration of soul, the need of war, proposing the Nishkama Karma, the qualities of Sthita Prajna, the self-realized. Sthita Prajna means the self-realized. The necessity of controlling the senses. Sri Krishna tells Arjuna to do each and every work, including Kurukshetra war, by being a namesake. In Sanskrit, namesake is called Nimitta Matra, Nimitta Matro Bhava. That means be a namesake. Dedicating and attributing everything to God. Whatever you do, you attribute it to God, that's all. You dedicate it to God. Here, war means internal war, that is sadhana, that is meditation. Sri Krishna explains the importance of sadhana, the importance of meditation. But without doing karma yoga, sadhana is not possible. Meditation is not possible without doing karma yoga. Hence, the necessity of karma yoga exists. So now, the third yoga is called Karma Yoga. Third chapter is Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? The way to spirituality. Karma Yoga means the way to spirituality. Doing karma without wanting for results is yajna. Yajna is doing karma without wanting for results. Paramatma says, he is also doing and shall continue to do karma in spite of being Paramatma and wisdom personified. One should do karma impassionately without aspiring for results. Bhagavan Sri Krishna preaches how to be victorious against kama, that is desires, duryodhana, that is krodha or anger, dusyasana, that is krodha, dusyasana, lobha. Duryodhana and dusyasana are krodha. They represent krodha. Lobha, that is greed, that is karna. Moha, delusion, that is shakuni. Mada, that is pride, that is King Shalya king. And Macharya, that is envy or material attachment. Kritavarma, that is jealousy. So let us talk about the Bhagavan who has preached how to be victorious against the Arishad Vargas. They are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Macharya. That is, Kama is desire, Krodha is anger, Lobha is greed, Moha is delusion, Mada is pride, and Macharya is envy, material attachment. So, Kama is Duryodhana, and Krodha is Dusyasana, Lobha is Karna, and Moha, that is Shakuni, and Mada is Shalya, and Macharya, that is envy or Macharya is envy, material attachment, that is Kritavarma. This way, the ground for Karma Yoga to preach yoga, wisdom to Arjuna, the sadhak, is created. Now Krishna has created. That means this has given the way for Karma Yoga to preach yoga wisdom. Now Karma Yoga is over. So what is required? Yoga wisdom is required to Arjuna. That is the sadhak. So what is that yoga wisdom? Knowingly or unknowingly, man does so many sins in his daily life while eating, cooking, sweeping, by killing living beings. Knowingly or unknowingly, we do so many sins in our life while eating, cooking, sweeping, by killing so many beings. Certain explanations are suggested by our ancient rishis. Certain expiations, that is prayaschittam, is suggested by our ancient rishis. They are called Panchasunams. They are called Panchasunams. Number 1, Deva Yajna, that is Homa. The Panchasunams are: number 1, Deva Yajna, that is Homa; Pitru Yajna, that is Tarpanam; number 3, Nru Yajna, that is Atidhi Puja; number 4, Brahma Yajna, that is Veda Jhayanam; and number 5, Bhuta Yajna, to feed living beings. Number 1, Deva Yajna, Homa, that is sacrifices, you can say; and number 2, Pitru Yajna, that is Tarpan, and that is Tarpan means to pay respects to our elders through ablutions, etc. And number 3, Nru Yajna, that is Adhiti Puja, that is respecting our guests. Number 4, Brahma Yajna, that is Veda Jhaina, that is reading scriptures. And number 5, Bhuta Yajna, to feed living beings. So now let us discuss about the next yoga, or 4th chapter, that is Jnana Yoga. That is Jnana Yoga, that is path to wisdom. After Karma Yoga comes the Jnana Yoga. The expression of Nishkama Karma, doing work without result, the sacred. Doing work without result means without expecting any result, without aspiring for any result. That is called Nishkama Karma. So the sacred dealings of man of pure wisdom. The discussions of different yogas are mentioned by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Karma means Vihita Karmas. Karma means Vihita Karma, the works that ought to be done. Vikarma means Nishiddha Karma, the work that are not to be done. Akarma means not doing any work and sitting idle. So, there are 3 things. That is, actually karma means Vihita Karmas. Vihita Karmas means the works that are not to be done. Akarma means not doing any work and sitting idle. And the Vihita Karmas means the works that ought to be done. And whereas Vikarma, Karma means Vihita Karmas, that is the works that are to be done. Vikarma means Nishiddha Karmas, that means the works that are not supposed to be done by us. Akarma means not doing any work and sitting idle. The techniques required for purification of Chitta, are explained in Karma Yoga. Firstly, Antakarana should be purified with Nishkama Karma Yoga. Our Antakarana should be purified by doing Nishkama Karma Yoga, that means without expecting any results. of our doing, then that antakarana will be filled with pure wisdom, that is Suddha Gnana. Pure wisdom is called Suddha Gnana in Sanskrit. So, next yoga is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Next yoga is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. First it will explain about Sankhya and Nishkama Karma Yoga. In Karma Sannyasa Yoga, they will explain about Sankhya and Nishkama Karma Yoga in the beginning. Then it will explain about the qualities of Sankhya, Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, impregnated with bhakti, dedication. Then it will explain this Karma Sannyasa Yoga will explain about the qualities of Sankhya, Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, impregnated with bhakti. Arjuna, the meditator or the sadhak, gets a doubt as to what yoga is better to practice. Sri Krishna is preaching so many yogas, so what yoga is better to practice? To remove the doubt, Bhagavan Sri Krishna shall explain mutual dependency of one yoga with another. No yoga is independent of each other. All yogas are interdependent. No yoga is independent, they are all interdependent. Unless alphabets are known, reading of words cannot be known. This leads to knowledge of sentences, then small books, then treatises. So, allegorically way of learning alphabets, words, sentences and then treatises are required. So, the next yoga is Atma Sannyasa Yoga. Demonstration of Nishkama Karma Yoga, the characteristics of Yoga Rudha, that is good yogi. Yoga Rudha means the one who has attained elevation in yoga, that is good yogi. Elation of soul, nature of Gnani, the man of pure wisdom. Gnani means the man of pure wisdom. Dhyana techniques, self-control, the good fate of Yoga Bhrashta, the good fate of Yoga Bhrashta, the benefits of jhana are prescribed in this. Yoga Bhrashta means the one who has left his yoga in between without completing that. Once the nature and the science of good God is known, once the nature and science of God is known, then one will be able to meditate on Him with one-pointedness. Hence, the necessity of Vijnana Yoga occurred. Even if you have left the yoga in between also, you will not be a loser. Still you will be called as a good yogi. Why? Because in your next birth, from there onwards, you will continue. It is just like a long sleep. This death is nothing but a long sleep. So before death, if you are a male, before sleep, if you are a male, long sleep, or before sleep if you are a male, then after getting from sleep also, or getting from bed also, you will be male only. Likewise, if you were a meditator, whether you are male or female, before long sleep or death, then after getting birth also, you will continue to do so. That yoga, that person is called Yoga Bhrashta. Vijnana Yoga, nature of, in this Vijnana Yoga, that is 7th chapter, it has been explained about nature of spirit, about wisdom with distinction of purity. Each and everything is God and God only. Para and Apara, Prakriti, that is Parabrahman and nature. Para means Parabrahman. Apara Prakriti means this is nature. What is the meaning of Artha? The man who is in need of dew, to his need of God due to his difficulties. Artha means the man who is in need of God, who is in need of God due to his difficulties. Jignasu means the man who wanted to know God. Ardharthi means the man who wanted God to provide wealth. And Gnani means the man of pure wisdom. All these things have been explained in Vijnana Yoga. And about worshipping methods of different deities and about non-believers of God are explained in this Vijnana Yoga. Sadhaka, that is the meditator, shall make efforts and take the rescue of God to get rid of the bondage of births and deaths. Sadhaka or meditator shall make efforts and take the rescue of God to get rid of the bondage of births and deaths. This wisdom comes to the sadhak, the meditator, through intuition, that is to be cultivated by the sadhak with self-effort. This intuition is Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So, Akshara Parabrahma Yoga is necessitated now. So, next chapter is Akshara Parabrahma Yoga. So, what is Akshara Parabrahma Yoga? 8th chapter. The clarification of doubts of Arjuna about Brahman, spirituality, karma, the usefulness of Om chanting, creation, deluge, the true nature of Brahman and its attainment with bhakti, the dedication. Shukla and Krishna Paksha paths. The greatness of yogi are explained in this Akshara Parabrahma Yoga, 39th chapter. So next chapter is, 8th chapter. The next chapter is Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga, 9th chapter. 9th chapter is Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. In this Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga, it is a secret of secrets. This yoga is a secret of secrets. The effect of spirituality, the description of Parabrahman, the advent of creation, the nature of deity and devil, the nature of doing work with desires and without desires are explained in this Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. The next chapter is 10th chapter, that is Vibhuti Yoga. 10th chapter is Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti Yoga, in this Vibhuti Yoga, the stage is now set for explaining about the glorification of Parabrahman in a bigger way. Now, after Vibhuti Yoga, where the stage is now set for explaining about the glorification of Parabrahman in a bigger way, now starts the 11th chapter, that is Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. The 11th chapter is Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Now Arjuna, the meditator, the sadhak, has acquired the qualification with his sadhana to be able to witness and experience the cosmic form of Parabrahman. Parabrahman has shown his cosmic form to sadhak as per his wish. Be an instrument in the hands of Parabrahman and do Kurukshetra war, the spiritual Kriya Yoga, the spiritual Kriya Yoga sadhana. Again, God comes back to his normal form, that is Sri Krishna comes back to his normal form as the sadhak, that is Arjun, that is the meditator. He is not yet ready to witness this gigantic cosmic form. Only with Ananya Bhakti, that is incessant dhyana, one will be able to experience and witness this cosmic form. It is similar to a 40 watt bulb that cannot hold 1000 watt electricity. Either bulb is to be of 1000 watt or the electricity should be scaled down to 40 watts. So, Bhakti Yogam completes. The Bhakti Yoga means the complete surrender is necessitated. The next chapter is called Bhakti Yoga, that is 12th chapter. So here the Bhakti Yoga is necessitated, complete surrender is necessitated. So what is Bhakti Yoga? The format of Bhakti, complete surrender, different spiritual methods, tangible Brahman, the qualities of true Bhakta, the surrenderer, Bhakta means the surrenderer, is explained in this yoga. Now the stage is set for intangible Brahman. Now the stage is set for intangible Brahman. Tangible Brahman is over. Intangible Brahman, the stage is set now. So next chapter is 13th chapter, that is Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga. Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga. What is this case? Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga means field. Kshetra means field. Kshetragna means soul. Kshetra means field. Kshetragna means the soul. The format of Kshetra and Kshetragna, the pure wisdom, ignorance, description of the spirit and nature, how to attain Nirguna Brahman, intangible spirit, are explained in this chapter. In this Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga, Sri Krishna has explained about who is Kshetra, what is Kshetra and what is Kshetragna, what is pure wisdom, what is ignorance, what is description of about the description of spirit and nature, and how to attain Nirguna Brahman. What is Nirguna Brahman? Intangible spirit, are explained in this chapter. So now the next chapter is called Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. What is Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga? Number 14 chapter. The role of Sattva, Rajas and Tamo Gunas, that is qualities, in spiritual sadhana or spiritual meditation, how man is bound by these qualities, the nature of those qualities, how to grow beyond these qualities, the description of Gunatita Jivan Mukta, the sadhak, that means the meditator who had overcome these qualities and attained liberty during this incarnation itself, are explained in this yoga. Then to attain Ananya Bhakti, dedication personified. Ananya Bhakti means dedication personified. Purushottama Prapti Yoga is needed. Number 15. Now the next chapter is 15th chapter, that is Purushottama Prapti Yoga. In this Purushottama Prapti Yoga, the description of Samsara Vriksha, the material world. Samsara Vriksha means the material world. Path to attain Parabrahman. Discussion of Jivatma, the all-pervasive God, is explained in this Purushottama Prapti Yoga, 15th chapter. To explain things like qualities of virtue and vice, Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga is necessitated. So the next chapter is 16th chapter, that is Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. So what is this? The Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. It will explain about the qualities of virtue and vice, the soul qualities that make sadhak godlike, the qualities of man of demon-like, the threefold gate of hell, it will explain about the threefold gate of hell, is explained in this yoga. Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga is necessitated for the right understanding of scriptural guidance for the conduct of life. So the next chapter, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, 17th chapter, is necessitated for the right understanding of scriptural guidance for the conduct of life. So 17th chapter is Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. So Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, it has been explained about three kinds of faith, three patterns of worship, three classes of food, three kinds of dana, giving are explained in this yoga. Three kinds of dana, three kinds of giving. Dana means giving are explained in this yoga. Charity, dana means charity. Now, the last and not the least chapter is 18th chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga is the summation of all the 17 yogas. This is the conclusion. So, sannyasa, renunciation, tyaga, giving. Sannyasa means renunciation. One meaning is renunciation. Another meaning is satnyasa, the one who cares for God, who cares for sat, the eternal truth, is called sannyasa. So for that you have to renunciate everything. So then tyaga, what is tyaga? Giving. The roots of action and liberation. The roots of action and liberation. Three grades of knowledge. Three grades of action. Three grades of character. Three grades of buddhi, dhruti, etc. are discussed in this concluding chapter, that is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. This is what I had given you, a brief description of all the chapters. Now, the real Bhagavatgita starts from chapter 1. So that is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, that is grief of Arjuna. Now a foreword. Mahabharata means great effulgence. The sadhak or the meditator shall fix his gaze in Kutastha. The sadhak or meditator shall fix his gaze in Kutastha, that is, Kutastha is the center between the eyebrows. While doing meditation, the meditator should fix his gaze in Kutastha. Then he will find great effulgence. Great means Maha in Sanskrit. Effulgence means Bharata. So then he will find great effulgence. His life is useless if he who does not get this great effulgence, or at least who does not get this great effulgence at least once in his lifetime. Enemies are two types, internal and external. To defeat external enemies, physical eyes are required. To defeat internal enemies, internal eye is required. That internal eye is called third eye. Every man consists of several traits. Every man consists of several traits. They are Dhritarashtra, blind mind, impregnated with love and affection on his children, whether they are good or bad. Sanjaya, the conqueror of himself, embodiment of pure thinking. Remember that Sanjaya is the conqueror of himself, embodiment of pure thinking. These are all in us only. All these Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, Drona, all these people are in us only, dwelling in us. Bhishma represents ego. Drona represents habits, good or bad. Vikarna, raga and dvesha, attachment and detachment. Duryodhana, kama, are king of desires. Dusyasana, krodha, or anger. Karna, lobha or greed. Karna, lobha or greed. Shekuni, moha or delusion. Selya, madam or pride. Madam in Sanskrit, pride in English. Then Kritavarma, that is Matcharya or jealousy. These are the symbolic representation of Kauravas. These are the symbolic representation of Kauravas. Qualities of vice. Raksha, Rakshasa Prakriti or demonic nature in man. Pandavas represent, that means Kauravas represent this, the qualities of vice, whereas Pandavas represent the qualities of virtue. Daivi Prakriti, godly nature in man. Each and every man contains both Pandavas and Kauravas in him. A man cannot be 100% cruel. A man cannot be 100% cruel. He may be having 1% good quality or thinking. That 1% goodness should lead him to think, who am I? Where from I have come? What is my destination? What I am doing is right or wrong? That leads him to do Kurukshetra war. Then with his willpower, he will try to overcome his karma. Then with his willpower, he will try to overcome his karma. That endeavor is called sadhana or meditation. That effort, endeavor is called sadhana or meditation. To reach his home, Paramatman, is the meaning of his sadhana. To reach our home, that is Parabrahman, is the meaning of our sadhana, that is meditation. Pure mind, pure intellect, pure mind, pure intellect and pure self are one and the same. Mooladhara or coxshiel, Swadhisthana, sacral, Swadhisthana means sacral plexus, and Manipura, lumbar plexus are Kurukshetra. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipura, that is coxshiel, sacral and lumbar plexus, they represent Kurukshetra. Manipura, Anahata, that is dorsal, and Visuddha, that is cervical. Chakras or plexus are Kurukshetra Dharmakshetra. Manipura, Anahata and Visuddha chakras are Kurukshetra Dharmakshetra. That is lumbar, dorsal and cervical plexus are Kurukshetra Dharmakshetra. Visuddha, Agnya and Sahasrara are Dharmakshetra. The outgoing force of life energy at the base of the spine in Mooladhara, that is coxshiel plexus, Mooladhara chakra, is called Kundalini. The Kundalini serpent force runs down through a circular passage coiled 3.5 turns like a snake into the nerves. Only by super psychophysical methods like Kriya Yoga practice, this Kundalini can be awakened. The Kundalini serpent force runs down through a circular passage coiled 3.5 turns like a snake into the nerves. Only by super psychophysical methods like Kriya Yoga practice, this Kundalini can be awakened. The Kundalini passage is the gateway of the outgoing life force at the base of the spine. The Kundalini passage is the gateway of the outgoing life force at the base of the spine. This gateway is responsible for flooding the life current from the soul region of the different senses of sight, touch, smell, taste and hearing, including the earthbound physical creative forces of sex. This gateway is responsible for flooding the life current from the soul region of the different senses of sight, touch, smell, taste and hearing, including the earthbound physical creative force of sex. When this is ego oriented, then it is called sleeping Kundalini. Then it is called sleeping Kundalini. When it is God oriented due to Kriya Yoga Sadhana, it is called awakened Kundalini. If the battery is not charged in regular intervals in a mobile cell, in a mobile cell phone, whenever required, it will be dead, as good as dead. Man will bring his prarabdha karma out of his accumulated sanchita karma. The main thing the man brings along with his prarabdha karma is hansas. What is hansa? One hansa is equal to one breath in and one breath out. To have a healthy and energetic life, at least one has to awaken the Kundalini life force by doing Kriya Yoga Sadhana 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. This Kundalini force is called Draupadi in Mahabharata. Artha Jana, the one who is required of help, is called Artha Jana. He requires the help of Sadguru. Embodiment, Sadguru is the embodiment of pure wisdom. The war between positive and negative forces during sadhana, the war between positive and negative forces during sadhana or meditation, to a Artha Jana, Arjuna, the sadhak, the meditator, is expatiated, is explained through Bhagavan Sri Krishna, pure intellect or intuition. That auspicious sacred song is called Srimad Bhagavatgita. So, Sri means sacred. Mat means mind. Mat means mind. Bhagavat means Parabrahman. Parabrahman. Gita means song. Bha means bhakti or dedication. Ga means gnana or pure wisdom. Va means vairagya, detachment or impassion. Ta means tattva gnana, or that is you only. That sort of wisdom is called tattva gnana. Ta. The sacred song that is heard by a sadhak or meditated through pure mind or Parabrahman is Sri Bhagavad Gita. Sri means sacred, Mat means mind, Bhagavat means Parabrahman, Gita means song. Again, Bhagavat means Bha means bhakti, Ga means gnana, Va means vairagya, Ta means tattva gnana. Va means dedication, Ga means pure wisdom, Va means detachment or impassion, and Ta means that is only you, wisdom. So, the sacred song that is heard by a sadhak through pure mind or Parabrahman is Srimad Bhagavad Gita.